Section 2, this is kind of the nitty gritty. Section 2 is making your edit cut. So this is kind of making the magic, or making the magic happen. So an edit cut is just a puzzle piece, guys. Like I said, when you make an edit cut from a clip, there's two ways. I call it yellow bars, or it's an in point and an out point. Yellow bars, that's what most kids use, and I don't like this way, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. So if you click on a clip, and if you just kind of stretch out the area you want, you see these two kind of yellow bars on the end. You can open them up so that gets more of the clip in, close it, click on another area. So now I'm getting her face. And I clicked on it and just moved over to the left or right. And now I'm bringing the yellow bars in. And if I move my cursor over, I kind of see the action. So those are yellow bars. I'm going to click on that and bring it in. And I just made an edit clip. So I'm going to show you what I prefer. That's one way to make the edit. I'm going to fast forward through this clip a little bit. All right, so I like what you call endpoints and outpoints. An endpoint is the starting point of your edit or your puzzle piece. The outpoint is the finishing point of your edit or your puzzle piece. There are different keys to hit. I'm going to hit I for in, and I'm going to hit O for out. Those are the ones that I'm going to teach you to use. So I can play over here, but I can also use the space bar for play, which we'll show that in the next section. Up here, I need to click down. It started playing down here, guys. That's what happened. I had clicked down here accidentally. So I'm going back up here to my footage. I pause right there. I'm going to go back a little bit. And how I go back, I'm pressing J. J is another key for rewind. And I'll show that next section. I'm hit I. I is in. That's my starting point. I'm playing it out. I want her to kind of just smile, and I'm going to hit O. O is my end point. I like in and out points, guys, because it gives me an exact stop. Sometimes the yellow bars, I think that dragging back and forth, you drag a little bit too far, you go a little bit, you don't go far enough because you're dragging stuff. I and O, you're hitting a button, so it's like, that's where I want it. I'm going to drag this down, and boom, I have this other edit. I'm going to move this over in a second. Let's just play it though. Now, guys, I'm not editing for perfection, so these things kind of look a little bit wonky right now. I don't have all my clips in, or my edits in. Before we move to the next section, guys, and that's the heart of the editing basics right there. It's just making an edit and bringing it into your, this is called your timeline sequence. That's where the video is created. That's what it's called. But I want to show a couple of things before we get into the next section. So boom, boom. So now, if for some reason, let's say I lay the clips on top of one another. Oh, let's play them out first before I do that here. Let's just play it out. Do that.
Look at me. To do
that. Okay, so it doesn't make much sense now. It will soon. I want you to see this. So the edit clips are side by side and they're connected. This little line, that's just their kind of connection point. I want you to see, I can lay clips on top of one another and edit clip. I can lay it on top of one another, and when I do that,
look at me.
To do that. Do that. When I lay clips on top of one another, you're only going to see the clip that's on top. You won't see the clip on the bottom, but you will hear both audios. That's the big thing, because sometimes when you're editing, you're putting clips on top of one another because you're trying to get a certain effect. You will still hear the audio, which we'll talk about that later in the course. But I just want you to understand that. All right, I'm going to move this to this side. I'm moving the clip around, so I'm bringing it to the front. And let's just make 1 or 2 edits so this thing makes a little bit more sense. I know there's a kid that's gonna wake up from sleep. I'm clicking on the clip.
And action.
And I'm making my endpoint
Ew, I hate clowns.
and out point. Let's bring that in here. And let's bring, he's gonna get hit in the face with a pie.
And action. Jeez, I hate clowns.
All right, there we go. And I'm just bringing the clip down and I'm placing it in between 2 other clips and it automatically pops in there. I could place it on top, but I don't want to do that for this. So now let's play this out.
Ew, I hate clowns. Look at me.
Do that. Okay, guys, I don't want this audio. Let's see. I actually can get rid of that. So sound, guys, is linked to your video. And this is the last point in this section. The sound is linked to your video. Now, I can bring this sound down. So did we see my arrow, my cursor here? It turned into this kind of up and down small triangle arrows. This yellow line is my volume level for the audio. So I can bring it all the way down where I don't hear that other stuff. All right. So now let's play it out.
Ew, I hate clowns.
Let's move my head because you can't see it.
Ew, I hate clowns.
All right. And I'm going to bring that in just a little bit. Okay, guys. Cool. Okay, guys, that's your second section in the iMovie tutorial, how to make your edit cuts, bringing them into your timeline, your sequence. That's where your movie's created, movie is housed, and you're creating it step by step. All right, we're moving into the third section, and this is your just a shortcut to some of the keys that you'll be using in the software.